back. I'm here. I hope everyone's doing well. I am here to give some information. I don't know how long this video, as long as I can stand the heat, that's how long this video is going to be. So we'll see. So I had a few things to tell you. One is kind of exciting. My sister Kris and I decided to start a new channel called Psychic Sisters Channel. We've gone back and forth a little bit about this, and we kind of wanted to feel like we had an idea of what we wanted it to be and how we wanted it to be. And so it's going to kind of be about, we are going to do some predictions on it, but we're also going to have it be a lot of discussions about certain things. So if there's a topic that you want discussed, let us know. You can leave it in the comments on my video or Kristen at Cardvoyant Kris, or you can go to the Psychic Sisters channel, which there'll be a link below, and you can leave it there. What we'd also like to do is kind of get the viewers involved more, because I talk to the readings that I do, I talk to so many fascinating, interesting people that are going through this journey of kind of figuring out where they stand with this stuff. Where do they fit in the mix of this? And so we thought we would invite people either once a week or once every couple of weeks to either come on and talk to us, or if you don't want to do that, if that's something you don't want to do, you can write in a question, but basically to ask a question of your choice. It can be something that is personal to you, or it can be something about the world or whatever, and we can kind of look into it in our using our abilities, but also talk about it as just kind of a discussion, a topic of discussion. So what we're hoping to do is kind of bring people into this so that you can feel more that you're a part of it, and that you're also getting your own questions answered that you may come up in this process. Because my hope is to I kind of just tell you what my guides want me to tell you, and that's what I do. I consider myself a telephone, just a telephone. That's all I am, an instrument, a telephone. So, but it would be an interesting way to kind of bring in people that may have other questions that we haven't talked about, or that come up, as this stuff unfolds. So anyway, it's exciting, and it should be a lot of fun. So all you have to do if you want to be chosen for one of the discussions, is just subscribe. That's all you need to do. And thank you for subscribing to this channel. We're like over 11,000 subscribers. It's just, again, you can go back to the first video I did. I'm like, if I get 100, I'll keep doing them. And so everything on top of that has been incredible. It's been gravy. So I really appreciate every subscriber, and be sure to like the videos. That's a thing now. I'm not even sure why, but just hit the like button if you like it. I guess if you don't, then just, don't. But anyway, so thanks so much, everybody, for comments, subscribing, all the wonderful things that you do. If you're taking my classes, they'll be up on the 21st, and you can just go to intuitiview.com, and you can just download the classes. And the only reason to go there on the 21st would be if you want to add a mentoring session, because those will be limited. But if you don't, then you can go anytime after the 21st. You can go in and just download classes and begin. Hopefully there'll be new information in there that you haven't heard. All of the information is channeled information, or from my guides, that kind of information, and some of it's a little bit new and different. You know how we have like clairvoyant and things like that. I've separated it into a different way that my guides wanted me to separate the abilities, or the abilities that people have. Where to begin, because we all have access to all abilities, but you do kind of come in with a ready-made starter kit, if you will, and that's where you kind of begin. So I've kind of condensed them in a way that I hope is understandable and kind of a little broader, so you can put yourself in a category and start somewhere. So I'm excited about that. I was really so thankful to my guides for giving me that information, and hopefully making it a little more accessible, a little demystified, a little easier. That's what this is all about, for me anyway. This is what I'm hoping to bring to the table, is to kind of demystify this stuff and make it just a little more accessible, and like, okay, that's, I can get on board with that. That sounds like me. It's all kind of leading to this kind of bigger shift we're talking about. Dolores, I always want to say Dolores Claiborne, it's Dolores Cannon. It's a book. Dolores Cannon. It's kind of Earth, these two Earths, the Earth 1 and Earth 2. I've called it a shift. Eckhart Tolle calls it the new Earth, or the shift in consciousness. And basically, what I've come to believe it is kind of it really is kind of like, will people that are ready to move on from kind of, hatred and anger and war and violence and all of these things that people maybe still are working through because they're in the grips of karma, or they can't let things go, they don't want to, or they're deciding to, we live in a free will universe, so they're deciding to stay in these kind of grips of hate or prejudice or whatever. It's funny because I asked my guides about these people. How do we change them? How do we change their mind? How do we shift them? And basically, it came back with, basically, it's not any of your business. That's basically what they said. And not in that, like, a rude way, but what they're basically saying is, you need to worry about you. You need to worry about your stuff and how you navigate your way in the world and the lives that you affect. They're going to figure their stuff out. It may take them longer. We all learn at different rates of speed, and it's okay. And when they're ready, they'll come over too, but they may stay back. They may be left behind. It's like the left behind thing. And I think actually, I've been thinking about that too, and I'm thinking there is something to that, but I just think it's like a lot of things in religion, it gets kind of twisted, or it gets changed because of man's fears and man's, they're wanting to feel superior, that kind of thing. So, but I do think there is a feeling like that, but they don't get left behind forever. As soon as they can drop those things or let those things go, they can come on over. It's fine. I wanted to tell you guys a story that I came across in my Twitter feed. I go on and off Twitter. I'll stay off for days, and then I'll get on and be like, it's human. We all do it. And I try not to be mean. I try just to either lay out facts or be kind of like, sarcastic or whatever, just like kind of snarky or whatever. But that's a whole different side. You can follow me on Twitter if you want to, if you dare to. But what I came across on a Twitter feed, and you may have seen it, was this guy who decided to put on his MAGA cap and go out to a rally, to a protester. It was like a protesting something of whatever Trump's done this time. They were protesting that. And he just held a sign that said, I made a huge mistake. And he said, I was ready for people to come up and be like, you idiot, how did you do, why did you vote for him? Why did you do this, whatever? And he said, people came up, they cried, they hugged him. They said, welcome to the resistance. They said, it's okay, we all make mistakes. He said he could not believe the level of acceptance, forgiveness, and love that came his way. He was not prepared for. He's like, I was prepared for everything else. I was not prepared for that. And basically just said, it's okay. We all make mistakes. And that is kind of the way we're going to have to be, when these people kind of drop their stuff and come on over. It's okay. We're all at different levels of development, and that's the way Earth is. And so, some people are still very much caught into violent cycles, or, working on things that maybe we did many, many lifetimes ago, but we did it. So we're done with that. We're moving on now. So anyway, I thought that was interesting, and I'll get to that later, because I have a big message from my guides that I want to share with you guys. So the first thing people wanted me to look into was Cy Vance, just kind of see where he is, I guess, in his, and these things I'm just going to do live, because I just feel like it might be more fun that way, and just kind of see what comes up. I feel like he's gathering information. He's very, he comes across as very like detailed and very like, he does not go into court without all his ducks in a row. I feel like there is pressure coming from the DA. I feel like there's pressure on him to move things along, to get to a certain place, but he's very meticulous and he takes his time, and that's the way he is. I see him in like a grand jury kind of situation. I feel like he's already done that. He's already done that phase of it. I feel like there's more. He has he has subpoenas. I feel like he has one for Rudy Giuliani. He has one for some of the Trump people, like people that have worked in the organization and the actual family members. He's waiting. He's just sitting on them. So they could be any time, or they could be like after the election or something, but he's sitting on them. He's got them. He already has them. And if it's not him, it's people close to him or work for him or something, because he's definitely mixed up in it. But he's got he's getting his ducks in a row. And I feel like he's waiting. I feel like he's waiting for something. It could be he's waiting for the election, or he's waiting for some kind of signal that it's okay to do it. I do feel like he's had some attempted interference from Barr, but he doesn't have to listen to him, so he's not. And he's not intimidated by him. He's not an intimidated kind of person. He knows his rights, he knows the law, he knows what he's supposed to do, and he doesn't have to answer to anybody. Like I said, I do feel some pressure from the DA, but that's what I'm feeling for him. So he's ready to go. He's ready to go. Okay, and people wanted me to look at Bill Barr because he was such a lying fool. The thing I was interested in is how angry he got when they brought up mail-in voting, so I wanted to see what that was about, so I'm going to look at that. I just got that they know they're going to lose. They're into phase 2. They're deciding what to do when Trump loses. They're trying to decide what to do. I feel like there's a lot of court things they're planning to do, a lot of intimidation things they're planning to do, like sending people to like where people are counting votes, or sending people to, I don't know if it's polling places or what, or like to actual like Pelosi's office and places like that, but it feels like there's intimidation involved. There's some things to distract, but none of it's going to work. I just want to let you know that, like, in the back of my in the back of my like consciousness, I can hear like none of it's going to work. But it's almost like they've accepted the fact they're probably going to lose, so they're moving into phase 2. What do we do then? How do we hold on then? So that's why they're putting so much effort into trying to just say like it's illegitimate, it's going to be rigged, that kind of thing. But they've kind of already accepted the fact they're going to lose. And it's funny because I feel like it's every man for himself. I feel like Trump and Barr are worrying about Trump, and other people are just going to have to worry about their own race. And it's like every man for himself. And it's funny because whenever I look at people have asked me in private readings about the election, what's going to happen on the day of the election. And what I keep seeing is that they are looking over here and something happens over here. So for example, they put all their efforts into cheating in Florida, but they lose Texas. They put all their efforts into cheating in Missouri and they lose Arizona. It's like they can't. It is like whack-a-mole. They're just off. They can't keep up with what's happening, and they haven't planned for what's happening. And I don't feel like it's even going to be close. And I feel like a lot of these efforts are just going to fall flat. In a way, I feel like it will kind of be like an anticlimactic, things. I think everyone's going to be like, oh my God, and it's just going to be like, oh, Biden won. That's, it's done. They're trying this, they're trying that. Everyone's just like, whatever. Go get on with your life, move to Russia, whatever you're going to do. I do feel like, and somebody just brought up the fact there are plans to leave the country. Several family members have plans to leave the country. I see Steve Bannon actually either attempting or making a plan to leave the country, like just in case or something. But it feels like it's like, I have all the things I need. Like I have a passport, I have money, I have like things I need to just leave. He may just make a run for it. There are several family members planning to do this, and there are several countries being told to help. Saudi Arabia is one of those places. The prince is one of those people. Just letting you know what I'm getting. They have plans. They have plans to leave. I don't believe they're going to get away with it. I think that there are plans. They don't realize how much is already known by like the FBI, and there are members. There are more people in the government trying to get rid of Trump than are trying to protect him and save him. Those people may be in power positions, like the head of the CIA, the head of whatever, but the rank and file is done with this man. And they're, like I said, I just see people saving stuff, saving evidence, taking copies of things, making sure they have stuff, making sure things don't get thrown out. And everybody's worried between November and January, and really all Trump and his people are going to be worried about if he loses, he's going to lose. When he loses is getting rid of stuff, getting rid of evidence. It's too late. People already have stuff, so there you are. I do feel like an international court is going to get involved at some point, and I think that's why. Oh, wait a second. I think that's why they did this weird sanctions on some of the judges, is because they may have to, like if they try to flee to other countries, which I feel like other countries know this. I feel like they know the plan. They know what they're going to try to do. It's like they're going to bring them back to face charges. A lot of this has to do with secrets they've given to other countries, and the atrocities on the border. That's what a lot of things are going to be about. I'm sure there'll be other things that come up and other things that are not coming up for me, but those are the things that I'm seeing are going to be a big thing. And also just the law breaking along the way. A lot of those things are going to be taken up by our government. This is a kind of a petty thing on my part, but when Donald Trump and Melania appeared at the top of the stairs at the convention, I felt like he was mad at her. He was angry about something, and I wanted to look at that. So I'm just going to look at that real quick. And like I said, maybe something really small and stupid, but do you know what I think it was? I think it was what she was wearing. I think it was her dress. He didn't like it. He thought it was too, that when they were all lined up, it would stand out too much. It was too loud and too, he doesn't like that color. He doesn't like that color. But I feel like she wore it for somebody. I feel like it could be like a boyfriend or something, but I feel like she wore it for somebody, and Trump was angry about it. I imagine he's really angry now that they used it for like a green screen, but it had something to do with her dress. And I feel like for him, it was like the aesthetics of it. Like, it's just ugly. I don't like it. It's going to look you're going to stand out. You're going to be, and we're supposed to look like we are, that we are unified, and you're going to look like you stand out. And, you always want to stand out, that kind of thing. So, but I feel like she wore it for somebody, for some reason. If you guys know why, let me know. I haven't heard anything about that, but if you know of anything, let me know. I feel like it's like it's someone's favorite color, something like a boyfriend's favorite color, something like that, or I don't know. Okay, that was just a little off-topic thing that I thought would be fun to look at. Okay, so I'm going to look at Michael Cohen this week, because I know this is kind of his big week for coming out. He's going to actually come across quite likable, and also very honest, which is funny considering that, he worked for the most dishonest person and probably did the most dishonest things, but it is like it's like a cleansing for him. It's like and it's like making things right. trying to undo some of the damage that he was part of. He has a lot of guilt, a lot of shame involved in this, and he's trying to kind of, it's almost like cleanse his soul, you know, get this off of him, get it out of him, so that it's not eating him up anymore. He's had a lot of death threats. He's still, a constant death threats. He's scared. He's scared that he could be like a guy in Russia, like how they just assassinate people. He's scared of that happening because he knows that Trump doesn't, he's capable of that. I don't know if he actually done that, but he's capable of it. So he's scared. He set his family up so that if anything happens to him, stuff is preserved, stuff is kept. Like actual like papers and things like that. They're locked away. Nobody's going to find him. If something happens to him, everything comes out. It'll just be like evidence. He feels like one of Trump's talents, one of the things that's most dangerous about him is he corrupts other people. That's what he's good at. He's good at making people feel comfortable being horrible and dishonest and doing horrible things. Okay. All right, that's what I got on him. I did want to tell you guys, I had a message that I wanted to share with you guys from, and I wanted to, before I get into that, I did want to say that I keep getting people sending me like, did you see this video? It's freaked me out. Did you see this video? It scared me. Let me just tell you something, okay? If you walk away from watching something that makes you feel fearful, makes you feel worried, nervous, uneasy, it freaks you out, that isn't how spirit works. Even when they have to tell you things, like I had to tell you guys there's going to be groups of people leaving the earth. Groups of animals leaving the earth. And I had to tell you that during a horrible time when the Amazon was on fire. And I got that message very, very clearly that this is happening. But it was delivered in a way telling you guys, but it's part of a bigger picture. It's part of a bigger plan. And these people that are going to be leaving have either agreed to this before they came, or they're agreeing to it now. So they don't want to be here for what's going to happen next. They want to be on the other side helping that way. So I had to deliver that message. It's a hard message to deliver because you're basically saying lots of people are going to be dying. Lots of animals are going to be going. Little do we know the pandemic was around the corner. But when I delivered the message, I wasn't like, everybody run. I wasn't like that. It was like, this is happening, but it's couched in this kind of, but we're here. And this is for a reason. And it is for the good of the earth and humanity. And it will be okay. We'll all be okay. What we're experiencing here, the earth is the matrix, right? It's a big play taking part. It's a school. We're all in different phases of learning. And some of us are destructive and being, crazy in our learning. And some people are kind of moving on from the more destructive parts or the more, the earlier lessons that we learn about, cruelty and violence and things like that. And that's where they are. And it shouldn't be judged. That's where they are in their learning. And they will learn. And then they'll move along. It could be in many lifetimes, not even here, but that's, like my guide said, that's none of my business. That's them, that's their business. My business is, what am I doing here right now? What is my energy? Whoops, my light went off. Everybody told me to get more light, so I hope it's bright enough now. What is my part? What am I doing? That's what we all need to be worrying about. Don't worry about this guy over here that did this thing wrong and he should be ashamed of himself. Don't worry about that guy. It's us, okay? So but anytime you walk away from having watched something, even if it's someone you like, just know that that isn't the way Spirit works. And so they may have an off day. They may have gotten the message wrong. They may have interpreted it wrong. Maybe they weren't in the mood to, do a message. And we all have those days. As readers, we all have them where we just have a bad day, or we interpret something wrong, or we get something wrong, or we're not in the right mood to do it, or whatever. But just know that if you're walking away from something feeling, just know that there's something wrong there. That it either wasn't the way the message should have been delivered, or it's off. It's just off. So, and that is not to, I don't want to, there are plenty, all of us as readers, as people that do this kind of stuff, we can all have an off day. We're human beings still. We're not just, consciousness energy. We're people, so we're gonna have to interpret stuff, and we'll make mistakes, and that's the way it is. It's just the way it is. We're just that's the way it is. So if you walk away from something, assume something like that has happened. Something wasn't delivered in quite the right way, or something was misinterpreted, or maybe it was an off day or whatever. Just know that, okay? So please don't let things like that rattle you. Just know that if it's from Spirit, you're going to walk away feeling like, okay, well, that was kind of a big message, but at least I know how to handle it, or at least I know it's all for a greater good, or there's something else happening, or whatever. It's going to be couched like that. Spirit never, never, never works in fear, in anger, in freaking you out. It doesn't work like that. They just don't have that ability to do that. It's not how they work, period. So what I want to tell you now is what I want to tell you, which is, it's interesting, but it's also advice. And I always love when my guides give me advice to share with you guys, because I always know that something's coming. Something's coming. And I'm also knowing that this shift is still in place to happen. So what they wanted me to tell you is, and we kind of touched on this a little bit, but this feels it has more urgency to it. It felt more like now is the time. That's what it felt like. Grudges, anger, forgiving people, forgiving yourself, letting things go that are negative, it's the time. Old grievances, anything, and what I got was whatever you need to do to lighten yourself in body, mind, and spirit. Lighten. That's what I kept getting, was just lighten your load, basically, is what it came as. Get rid of these heavier, darker, icky energies. And in reading energy, I can tell you some of the heaviest ones are shame, grievances, jealousy, anything that keeps you attached and mired to somebody for a bad reason. And this also translates for us to Donald Trump. It's time to, remember I kept saying it's time to start visualizing him leaving. It's time to start visualizing us letting him go as well, because a lot of people, I think, are, in a way, they've become a little bit addicted to him. What's he going to do next? What is he doing now? Why isn't he tweeting today? That kind of thing. It's like, no, start to release him, because he's the embodiment of what is going to be kind of quote unquote left behind, or in Earth One. He's filled with jealousy, grievances, anger, cruelty, meanness. He's, every id you can think of, that he's mired in that. So he's showing us, get rid of, if you have any of this in you, get rid of it. Get rid of it. And they showed me a picture of a person in a teeny tiny little boat that's very, very delicate. And it's like they're trying to get from one place. Let's pretend like it's on fire, kind of like California right now. And they're trying to get their boat, this little lightweight boat, to this paradise. And you wouldn't take heavy luggage and heavy stuff and all of this stuff with you. You would try to get rid of everything. And that's what they're asking us to do. And that's the visual they gave me, was like, take only those things that keep you light. Keep you light, okay? So that's your homework. That's what you're doing, okay? And that's also it's a great thing to do before if you're going to take classes and start to kind of tune into your abilities. That's a great thing to do, because it does keep that vibration lighter. Remember we talked about that vibration becoming lighter? The whole, like, new earth, new consciousness will be at a kind of a lighter vibration. And so to kind of just move along with it, we have to have all of these things off. And it's really difficult to get rid of things like child abuse, things that came onto you that you didn't do anything for. You were just a victim. It's so hard to let those things go, but you also have to understand that this is an earth school. So those things were put in place to either teach you something, have a karmic experience of some kind, experience something you wanted to experience. And I don't mean this in a blame the victim way. Please don't take it that way. When we come in, we come with this list of stuff, all the stuff we want to learn. Some of us put too much on our plate. It's too much. I talked to someone just this week who her guides came through and said, we told you before you came here, you were doing a lot, but we're here to help. We're here to help you. This was a lot that you laid out for yourself, but you're doing it, and you've done a lot of the hard stuff, but we're here to help. But it's time to let these things go. Release this stuff. Release the any of those things that are weighing you down. The other thing, and this may be a thing for a later date, but they're talking about even our food and like stuff like that becoming lighter. It's almost like everything needs to lighten, body, mind, and spirit. The other thing is your mind being lightened. Stop worrying. Do not go into a fear energy right now. Do not do it. Do not do it. There's no point. There's no point in going into a fear-based energy. What you need to go into right now, if you choose to, I'm just letting you know, is an action energy. Like, what can I do? Oh, I can vote. I can tell this person to vote. I can send, I sent Cassie her stuff to vote so she can vote from England. I can make phone calls. I can donate money. Move into that, an action, a positive action energy, or just a peace and a calm, knowing that we're going to move through this. This is part of what's pushing us to kind of shift and change. This is the end of an era. It's the climax of kind of all of this corruption and greed, and how it's really permeated and affected and harmed the earth and the people in it. And we're going to be, from here on out, this shift is going to be kind of turning that, correcting it, making it the people and the earth healthy and whole again, so that we can move on and do other things. And with that, a lot of spirit energy coming in, a lot of people getting in touch with their abilities, connecting with spirit energy, that kind of thing. We're moving into a different phase. So, and again, my job is just to let you guys know. Once I do that, it's all up to you guys. But I'm letting you know. And I even have like my, I have a rose quartz on. I'm not a huge crystal user. I don't use crystals a lot, but and it really you are really attracted to the tools that you need and that you want and that you are beneficial to you. This week I have felt like I needed something with me that just reminded me to lighten my heart, basically. Any old grievances, things I haven't forgiven people for, things I haven't forgiven myself for. Forgive yourself. Let yourself off the hook and leave it. It doesn't do any good. There's no benefit to it, none. It might feel good to be like, I'm mad, I'm going to stay mad until they get their comeuppance. It doesn't do any good for you. Donald Trump's going to be taken care of. Don't worry. Bob Barr is going to be taken care of. Don't worry. And we'll be part of that as well. We'll be part of that kind of healing that needs to take place, where people are held to account and we kind of have truth and understanding and things. So we'll be part of that as well. But for your own personal stuff, lighten the load. Whatever that means to you, lighten it up. the constant worrying, fear-based thinking, worrying, nervousness, anxiety, those kind of things, lay them down. There's no point to them at all, okay? Action, positivity, and also opening yourself up to receive the good that's coming in. Let Trump go, but also receive Biden. Let him come in. Receive this change that we're going to see in our kind of policing and the way that we help one another in our communities. Let it in. Be open to receive it, and let that other stuff go. Okay, we don't need it anymore. It's done. It's gone. Okay, we don't need that stuff. All right. Okay. So there's going to be a couple of links down at the bottom. So I've got some in my eye. There'll be a link to the psychic channel, the new Psychic Sisters channel, and there'll also be for April Beam, she's been very, very ill, and if you'd like to support her during this time, and I know she's really struggling with readings and stuff like that right now, and I told her I'd let people know when her channel was back up, but she has like a GoFundMe kind of thing for her medical bills. And so if you feel like you can and you want to contribute that way, I'm sure she'd appreciate it. We all need to look out for each other right now, you guys. So, I did give to a couple of charities. One was to, I shouldn't say charities. I did give to vote.org again, because they have a great system. I also gave to the Child Defense Fund, and I think it's called KID. And I'm also giving to Joel and Kamala again this month. So those are the things that I gave to. And yeah, I'm looking forward to you guys doing classes. When you guys take them, please let me know, how it goes, what you think, what realizations you had, what things came to you, what you got out of it. I would love to know. And yeah, so I hope everyone's doing well. Thanks, everybody. If you haven't checked out the new Psychic Sisters video, we had a special guest, so you might want to check it out. And I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.